Hey guys, it's Amory from Sheets That Teach and coming at you with another tutorial of our latest tool, the Related Service Tracker. Now, this is truly legendary, by far the most complex tool we've ever had to make, but honestly, if it's more complex for us, that means it's easier for you when you go to use it. There's nothing like this out there. I truly believe that this is, again, a related service tracker that's going to allow you to brain dump your caseload of kids, right? But when you're entering it from all of your IEPs and basically doing a brain dump, it's probably going to look more like students when you're like assigning goals, and the goal category won't be organized, but obviously we put some filters on there for you. And again, this is just giving you a preview of what it could be. Then we're going to go over the basics of setting it up. This is a interactive calendar that you're going to be able to duplicate each month, and basically your caseload from this tab is going to generate your monthly caseload dashboard for you. And this whole dashboard you do not need to touch. It is a color scale, meaning it's gonna, if you haven't started the kid, it'll show up gray. But then as you start scheduling sessions for them with on the calendar, it will change from red to orange to yellow to green until they've hit 100% of their scheduled sessions. So, or their total sessions needed, mandated throughout their IEP. The color scale knows to change based on how many times that student is chosen for said goal on the calendar. So you'll see that each day within the calendar comes with 3 columns. One for group, that's like the goal group that you'd be pooling. And again, you could assign students individually or multiple students if you want. You could even track down to the minute. And then we've even left at the bottom of each day a reason for like why your schedule may have been different and you didn't see kids on that day, for your reference. I really think that there's nothing out there that helps you brain dump your caseload, see it in such an organized fashion, and then not only a checklist to see how many sessions a kid has left, but to just like plan your groups and finally have receipts. So like, again, you're not a bad related service provider or therapist if you can't get this whole checklist to green. Even for this example of caseload of 50 kids, like, look, I only put 1 PD day and like really not that many other things, because again, we all know there's so much more school closings and school-wide events that these little tabs would be, the schedule change tabs would be so much more full. I only did a caseload of 50 for this example and struggled to get as much green as I did. But again, what we're creating with this tool is finally color-coded tangible receipts that absolutely no one can deny. You finally have something to hand admin or your supervisor and say, look, you need to hire another speech pathologist or occupational therapist right now. So we are obviously going to start in the beginning. After you make a copy from your purchase PDF, you're going to get your beautiful little blank copy. Again, we always provide beautiful visual instructions. If you'd rather not listen to my voice, just remember you can put this on ×2 speed if you need to too. Now, best rule of thumb, I like to leave one of my templates fully blank so I have something to start fresh if ever needed. But if you accidentally get so excited and start typing on yours right away, you can always just go back to your purchase PDF and make a new fresh copy. We're going to do that, and then I would be able to go start setting up immediately. And just to give you guys a preview of what's to come, so with this making this sheet, like, we had no idea how many different goal categories you guys would want and how many focus areas within that specific goal. So this was very, very hard to make. And again, all the layers of like group, independent services, there were so many layers to this one. But that, because we didn't know how much you guys would need, we couldn't like make these into beautiful groups for us. So this is one that you are going to have to end up like doing a lot of color coding and whatnot by yourself if you really want to see the groups beautifully like that. So in this video, we're really going to go over the bare bones of how to set it up, and then in another video I will walk you guys through how to make all the beautiful edits, so it's not just like a white blank list that's like not that readable compared to all the beautiful little colors that my ADHD brain needs. So, okay, when you get it, you can hide your Start Here tab if you're not looking at the directions. And then for setup, this is when you're going to set up all of your goal categories and focus areas. So for, if I was a speech pathologist, I could do expressive, and then I could say, wants, needs, and protests. And so now again, if I'm going to add more expressive goals, then expressive is going to come up numerous times within the goal category. What's another one? We could do sequencing. And then again, I'm gonna go to write expressive, and it knows that at this point I want to type it, so I could just type in a few letters and press tab, and it knows. So again, it will like start remembering what you typed in and whatnot. We could do wants, needs, sequencing, prepositional phrases. We could do again articulation, and say we're doing the L-R sound and the K. Oh wait, hold on. I have a bad habit of putting spaces after this, but which doesn't matter too much, but like if one has a space with it, you want to make sure all of them do, because then sometimes it doesn't remember that it's the same thing. But like, come on Google, it is. So again, just gonna fill out a few of these right now to give you guys that example again. However many focus areas you have for expressive, you're gonna have that same amount of goal categories. Then obviously this one's self-explanatory. You're gonna dump your student names and their grades. So this will create, again, all of these are creating drop-down menus on your caseload tab, so that way you can assign the goals to them later. Let's go with Sally. She's gonna be in 3rd grade. We're gonna go with Sam, and again, so on and so forth. Now, schedule changes, these are what create the little itty-bitty tab, like post-it note thing at the bottom of each day, that any reason your schedule changes. And one thing I really loved doing was noting if you have more than one IEP meeting in a day, because this day and this day are going to look totally different on kids you can service. Alright, so again, you can add to that. I think that is a really cool feature we added. So then this is when you are going to start putting everything in your caseload. So again, I could just start typing Bob's name, and it would know, and it would carry over his grade automatically. Then again, goal category, we've only put 2, so it's only going to show those 2, but this is actually going to show all of your goal areas. This drop down menu is not dependent on which goal you picked, but it is on the actual calendar template. But say I knew I wanted to do sequencing, I'm going to go ahead and click that. Then I can enter his service delivery. It's going to be 15 minutes, and this is going to be 3 times a month. Always remember that gray in our sheets means don't touch it. There's an automation. White is for you guys. So again, Sally, it's going to carry over some of the gray, and then let's say she's working on articulation. Oh, and I kept articulation yellow apparently. Cool. Alright. And she's working on the LR sound. This one's gonna be individual, and it's 20 minutes 4 times monthly. And also, again, it's going to total your total minutes per. It'll depend if you picked weekly or monthly in this tab. I would personally go monthly. I feel like it just makes the automations easier in your dashboard checklist, but again, do as you wish. So again, you're gonna brain dump, like grab all your IEPs, brain dump every kid, dump them in here. Now, again, if you really wanted to do some color coding, I personally, like for my brain, I needed to be able to see like goal category groups. So again, how you would do that, you just at your drop down menu go to that little pencil at the bottom, and then let's just say I wanted to change the early language color to, we'll do like this bright blue or something. Say I wanted to do that, I'm gonna click done, and then I would need to make sure I click apply to all. I don't actually like that, so I'm gonna change it back. That is what's gonna allow you to better see your groups here. And another thing here, let's just add Sam to real quick. We're gonna do expressive, but you're doing prepositional phrases. And then that's gonna be group. And this is going to be for 20 minutes, 3 times a month. Boom. Now, when you get it, it's probably going to look something like this. For some reason, whenever you filter it, it loves to tell you that you're making a mistake or change or not. It's gonna look like this, not in like a group-friendly format. To filter it, you're just gonna come up here to the filtered view, sort A to Z, and then boom, everything. You can like very easily see who has what and make groups. We love this feature, we love her. All right, so you've brain dumped your caseload, right? Now what you would need to do is you're going to have your calendar template, leave this blank, leave this blank. It is, you want something fresh to come back to. I can't reiterate it enough. Always leave a template version blank, even after you filled up the setup page, so that way you have this to start fresh at each month. So we are going to go ahead, duplicate that, and we'll just call this March for sake of this video, I guess. So now you're going to be able to come up here, and we're gonna select March. It's obviously gonna know to change your calendar dates and views. Before we even start assigning kids, let's just reiterate going over the monthly dashboard. This was like hard to figure out the proper way to organize it because everything is so group dependent, and we tried putting the focus area and the goal category in the same thing, and it was just so unreadable, so we separated it into groups. We can't merge these cells for you in the automatic formatting, but you can. And again, that's just an appearance one. Notice how we left those white to show that you can edit it. And you would just highlight all the cells that you want in it and merge them. And what I did too, like I was going to attempt to match mine to my caseload colors that I also coordinated on our setup tabs. Like I see how I changed the cells of these colors and made groups and then matched them to my caseload colors. I was going to try to attempt to keep those colors matching, but honestly, there's so many colors going on here already. I liked a lighter gray color. To me, it just, or I'd go like a few shades darker, I guess. Now, that is the only thing that you would really ever be touching on your monthly caseload dashboard. Beyond that, it's formulated. You don't need to touch anything. So if you haven't scheduled any sessions whatsoever, it is going to be that lighter gray color. Once you start assigning them, it is going to go from red to a lighter red, orange, yellow, green, and there's even a darker green if you were able to hit over 100% of sessions. You are going to then be able to see all of your group category / goal focus areas. Click whichever one you want, and then however many students are assigned to that goal, you are going to be able to say that's who you met with that day. Say that, articulation, I think those are mostly individual sometimes, but maybe for responding to a body language cue, you want to do that in a group setting. So notice how as I started assigning kids, we can already see the magic in our monthly caseload dashboard changing for us. Another amazing feature we figured out, if you really wanted to, you could track this ish down to the minute. Down to the minute. You don't have to if you don't want to. You could literally just say hide all of these minute columns or leave it blank, doesn't matter. And just know that if you decide not to do the target minutes, you can just hide this. That's what this plus sign and minus sign does right here. There is also a hidden column right here that you could open, and it's showing you the percentage of sessions left. I personally just don't there's a lot of numbers right here, and I like it being simple, so I personally like to hide the percentage column and the minutes, and if I really need to see the minutes, I can just open that bad boy back up. However many focus areas you have, and again, you can have up to 75 focus areas, up to 75 students, and I think 20 reasons for a schedule change. If you have 75 things written on your setup tab, you're going to have 75 choices here. But again, as soon as you start typing something, it knows that it'll decrease the options available. So also, let's just say this was 20 minutes, this was 15 minutes, this was 20, and this was 15. Keep in mind, if you do not color code your drop-down menus to match your caseload and setup tab like I did, you are going to end up with still quite an amazing tool, but just remember, it's going to end up looking very, very listy like this and very white. This is one that, as much as we want to color code, automate things and color code them for you, without knowing how many goal categories and focus areas you guys need, there was no way we could do that. Some really key things to change would be your goal categories within your caseload tab. I highly, highly recommend that. And then when you get to your calendar, just remember it's going to be very black and white here and you can't see the groups you met with. So what I would do on this is you, again, are going to come down here to your little edit button. And then if my articulation goals were all purple, I'd make every articulation one purple. And then I would say done, and then I would say apply to all. It's very easy to see the articulation groups that I met with. I didn't feel the need to sit there and color code students. That wasn't that necessary to me, but you could. On mine, I even color coded the reasons that would affect my ability to see kids. So again, I think that that's something that really just helps things stick out easily. Another thing I really, really love is, let's do it on one that's a little more filled up so you could really see the magic of it. Thursday, say that you really need to see what groups you still need to meet with. I love that once I'm within the drop-down menu, I can scroll side to side and up and down and see that. So if I see, oh, holy crap, Deshaun still has lots and lots of sessions he needs for functional communication. Even when I'm down here, I can type functional communication, and it's the making choices one. Scroll right back up, and I'm going to go with Deshaun, and let's just say that one was only 10 minutes. Another thing I really like too, again, you could do that even when you're in the student tabs. So again, let's just say who else would need Lucas, holy crap, you still have a lot you need. So this is for expressive complete sentences. So even though I'm in a wonky spot, complete sentences, enter, and then I'd come back up here and say I didn't remember who it was. Again, I could scroll if needed, but That one just needs to be Lucas. Another thing I would keep in mind too, guys, so if you really want to save like permanently what your February attendance was and be able to update your caseload tab after a kid's annual IEP has ended and their service minutes may have increased or decreased, what I would do is...
Hey guys, just jumping in here really quick. Anne-Marie's sound wasn't working, so I'm just gonna make this little portion very quickly. I wanted to show you an easy way to save this tab so it's not affected by any of the other tabs. The only thing you have to do is click this little rectangle up here, do Command-C or Control-C, and then when you go to paste, you'll go here, paste special, and then just values only. And that gets rid of all the formulas and that locks in all of the data. So now you can just go back to your calendar template and then duplicate it for the new month. Okay, bye. Sorry about that.
I think that's everything you guys need to know. So I really hope that this helps you make all your groups, plan everything, and take attendance, and also just give you the receipts that you need to show admin, hey guys, you can't not hire someone else. So, all right, happy data tracking and servicing, and let us know what else you guys need.